In central India's Bundelkhand region, the heat defines the landscape. The cracked earth serves as a constant for millions facing crippling, recurrent droughts. The scale of human suffering is immense. Entire populations rely on a marginalized landscape that routinely denies them the water they need. To fix this, the government has stepped in with a colossal intervention, the Ken-Betwa Link Project. It's the crown jewel of the National Perspective Plan, carrying an estimated price tag of over 44,000 crore rupees. Looking at this map, you can see the core mechanics. The plan captures surplus water from the Ken River and pumps it to the deficit Betwa River through a massive 221-kilometer canal. The project is pitched as a massive technical feat, a way to bypass natural limitations and guarantee irrigation for 11 lakh hectares of parched farmland and drinking water for 62 lakh people. But to build a lifeline of that size, you have to leave an equally massive footprint on the earth. Delivering that water means drowning a world-renowned conservation zone, clear-cutting millions of trees, and forcibly displacing entire indigenous communities. Critics point out that this cure might actually be worse than the disease. It has sparked a fierce national debate, pitting Vikas against Virasat, the drive for development against the preservation of heritage. So to figure out if that 44,000 crore rupee price tag is truly worth it, we need to audit the permanent, hidden costs of rewiring an entire river basin. Let's start with this map of the proposed Dowden Dam site. The resulting reservoir creates a submergence zone, drowning 9,000 hectares. Overlaying the Panna Tiger Reserve boundaries shows the conflict. Over 4,100 hectares of that flood zone sits directly inside the reserve's core habitat. Panna is a UNESCO biosphere that famously clawed its way back from extinction. In 2009, its tiger population had been completely wiped out. Today, it is a stronghold for over 50 of these magnificent cats. To clear the way for the reservoir and canals, engineers will have to cut down anywhere from 2.3 to 4.6 million trees. Beyond the trees, diverting the river alters the chemical and physical sediment load of the water itself. That threatens the entire interconnected food web, right up to apex scavengers like vultures. Drowning these trees and fragmenting this habitat during 50-degree heat waves severs the ecological ties that have stabilized this region's climate for millions of years. The wildlife isn't the only thing in the path of the water. 24 tribal villages are located squarely inside the dam's submergence zone. The threat of eviction has driven local tribal women to launch the Cheetah Andolan, a protest where they stage symbolic funeral pyres. They're signaling that the forced displacement they face feels worse than death. The numbers back up their fear. Nearly 72% of these households will become completely landless, instantly losing their primary farming livelihoods and any generational wealth they had built. Locals and advocates argue that consent from village councils was coerced, bypassing the protections of the 2013 Land Acquisition Act and the Forest Rights Act. Even the foundational science of the project is under fire. Former ministers and hydrological experts have repeatedly questioned whether the Ken River actually possesses the surplus water the government claims it does. We are left with a bitter irony. A mega-project explicitly designed to deliver water security is simultaneously erasing the ancestral homes, rights, and livelihoods of the region's most vulnerable citizens. The debate has hit a political deadlock. The government pushes the dam as essential nation-building, while critics dismiss it as a highly destructive, outdated relic of 20th century engineering. It forces a difficult question. Do we really have to choose between saving desperate, drought-stricken communities and preserving an endangered ecosystem? A government report from the Niti Aayog suggests that choice is a false dichotomy, and the proof lies in Jakni, a village located right in the middle of the same drought-prone Bundelkhand region. Let's compare the two approaches with this model. Instead of the massive concrete dam on the left, Jakni relied on the decentralized method on the right, basic farm ponds, aggressive rainwater harvesting, and intensive tree planting. Through these localized efforts, Jakni became completely water sufficient. They are now producing massive crop yields, proving that you can cure a regional drought without pouring a single ton of megadam concrete. We have two competing models. On one side, a multi-billion-dollar river link causing widespread destruction. On the other, cheap, nature-based, decentralized success. Large-scale water transfers look like a quick solution to politicians, but as climate change creates unpredictable extremes, rewiring entire river systems introduces structural risks that are difficult to predict or reverse. Ultimately, the Ken-Betwa project forces India to look in the mirror and ask a difficult question. Are we actually solving our climate crises, or are we simply destroying nature to buy ourselves?